Middle East is approaching a point where escalation, exhaustion, and political survival are colliding. Donald Trump continues to threaten Iran. Benjamin Netanyahu still needs a wider confrontation to protect his own political future. And Iran has warned every regional country against assisting another American-Israeli attack. Yet the deeper reality is that neither Trump nor Netanyahu is operating from a position of strength. Welcome to Fourth Floor Post English. American public opinion is turning sharply against Israel. Increasingly, Americans see this as a war that does not serve their country. Even within American defense establishment, questions are emerging about whether limited military resources should be used to protect Israel or America itself. Trump may still order heavy bombardment, but bombing cannot produce regime change in Iran. Iranian society may have serious internal divisions, but foreign aggression is far more likely to unite them rather than break them. Any ground invasion would be a strategic disaster too. It would close the remaining diplomatic window, expose American forces to Iran's regional networks, and accelerate the decline of American-led order. Russia and China would simply watch America bleed through proxies. This is why Trump may escalate, perhaps severely, but he will probably be stopped by his own Republicans before sending American troops to Iran. The Arab states understands this danger clearly. Saudi Arabia is distancing itself from the prolonged war, maintaining negotiation with Houthis despite the escalation, and making it clear that it does not want the conflict expanded. Oman continues to offer a diplomatic route for America, while Qatar and Kuwait are also adjusting to the possibility that the old Israeli-centered security order can no longer survive in its existing form. That does not mean that the peace will come easily. Any serious settlement with Iran would require Washington to accept some degree of Iranian power, its regional influence, and its connection with the proxies, the armed groups. Israel sees all three as a direct threats to its ambitions. That contradiction explains why negotiations repeatedly approach a breakthrough but never become a durable agreement. J.D. Vance represents a possible shift in American thinking because he has openly argued that engagement with Iran is preferable to the endless war. Israel may attempt to pressure or blackmail him as it has pressured other American leaders, but its greatest problem is no longer one politician or part of the few politicians. Its real problem is American public, a public at large. Even if a future president comes under pressure, a Congress elected on an anti-war mood could restrict what that president is able to do. America will therefore need years to rebuild a workable position in Middle East again. It must either reduce Israel's ambitions and negotiate with Iran or continue entering the conflicts that weaken American power while strengthening China and Russia. See, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, and Turkey, all of these Middle Eastern countries who have some sanity are already anticipating this transition. This changing regional order creates a major opportunity for Pakistan, a country like Pakistan. Pakistan has been expanding relations with Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Turkey, and now Kuwait, while retaining the ability to communicate with Iran also. If a broader regional security arrangement emerges, Pakistan could become an important guarantor and perhaps even a bridge between Iran and the Arab states. But that opportunity also places Pakistan at the center of the emerging American-Chinese Cold War. China will expect Pakistan's growing regional role to protect Chinese interest and deepen connectivity with Iran. America will want to prevent Pakistan from moving decisively into the Chinese camp. Keeping Pakistan aligned with Washington may eventually require a lot of financial support, some relief from the Chinese debt, which we are in a debt cycle, and movement on the Pakistan's-India relationship too. This is where the reports that Pakistan has requested 10 or possibly $20 billion from America becomes very significant. That money would not resolve Pakistan's economic crisis. It would merely finance another period of firefighting and help preserve the present power structure intact. China protects its strategic investments, but it does not normally offer personal political guarantees to Pakistanis rulers. Washington has historically been more willing to build relationship with the particular power structures. And that is the problem of this 10 to $20 billion if they come. The arrival of the American congressman and the recent visit to Pakistan and these direct meetings with the Field Marshal resonate with the Charlie Wilson's war, or the Charlie Wilson who started the Afghan war. See, what exactly can Pakistan offer in return to America? Pakistan cannot simultaneously serve American strategy and protect Chinese interests now. Pakistan cannot enter the Middle East as a security guarantor on behalf of America and then confront the Israel at the same time. Pakistan cannot preserve relationship with Iran and expect every major power to finance the arrangement. That is not the strategic balance, it is strategic overextension. Pakistan's greatest weakness is not about the absence of international opportunity, it is the absence of domestic stability. A country cannot become the security guarantor of an emerging bloc when its own power structure is consumed by the struggle for survival. In that condition, it behaves like an agent searching for foreign guarantees rather than a sovereign state pursuing a national interest. This is also the context in which the latest discussion about the administrative reset must be understood. Interior Minister Mohsen Naqvi has effectively declared that this system, his own system, which he is part of, which he is also the minister of, is no longer working. The DGISPR, the military spokesperson, has repeatedly spoken about the governance, population and the will of the people. The proposed solution appears to involve smaller provinces or the new administrative units. But how is the will of people be defined, one may ask? Obviously through votes. A genuine administrative reset begins with credible elections with votes. Now, without a democratic mandate, it is not a reset at all. It is another experiment imposed by the same old establishment who started the hard state experiment 4 years ago. So the Pakistan problems are not caused by the physical size of its provinces, terrorism, economic decline, corruption, institutional interference, political repression, and the absence of accountable local government will not disappear by drawing new lines on the map. Smaller provinces without the democracy could simply produce smaller chief ministers who are easier to manage, manipulate, and manufacture electorally. Neither the present political arrangement nor the ordinary constitutional government possesses the power to divide the provinces, shake the NFC framework, redistribute the power distribution, redistribute the political authority without the enormous resistance. Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz will not accept that formula too, because it destroys the base, the very base of Punjab it holds. Pakistan People's Party will not accept the changes threatening the Sindh's water, Sindh's resources, Sindh's boundaries, and the constitutional autonomy. PTI cannot support such a project without destroying its democratic claim. The proposal, therefore, appears like a less an implementable policy and more like a political noise. First, declare that the existing system has failed, then blame the civilian government and pressure the political parties to accept establishment designed formula. If they refuse, present their refusal as the proof that the constitutional politics is incapable of governing. Now that's the whole idea. So the focus should not be whether the new provinces will actually be created. The focus should be on the declaration that the system has collapsed and must be replaced. because these changes cannot be imposed within the existing constitutional structure. The implied argument is that another structure may be required. This is why the fears of an unconstitutional arrangement are increasing. The present establishment may want the fresh foreign guarantees, American financial support, and a longer political order in which PML-N may serve as its civilian face. But with the new provinces, it will not do. PML-N will part away from the establishment's mindset. But wanting such an arrangement does not make it achievable, even if they want to do it with all the force in the world. The international environment is uncertain, domestic resistance is expanding, and the search for the new guarantees itself has weakened. Look at Azad Kashmir. Azad Kashmir is one of the clear and the loudest signs or the warnings. Low turnout, disputed results, people dying, protest happening, confrontation with the security forces, and then labeling them as terrorists. It obviously will not stabilize Kashmir. It would create a long-term resentment and could eventually build an international case against Pakistan's handling of the disputed territory. Some of the statements being made are also extraordinarily damaging to the Pakistan's Kashmir position. If the government representatives suggest that the Pakistan once created militants for the Kashmir and now those militants are fighting against us, that minister or that Rana Sanaullah is validating the Indian narrative. If the Kashmiris are told that they should remain grateful merely because Pakistan protects them, then their independent political agency is also being denied. So if resistance is manufactured, protection is a favor, Kashmiris possesses no separate right to determine their future then what remains of the Pakistan's morals distinction from India? Pakistan's case has always rested on the right of Kashmiris to decide their own future, not on the idea that the Kashmir must simply belong to whichever state possesses the power to control it. Pakistan People's Party's confrontation with the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz over the Kashmir does not appear entirely stage 2. Bilawal Bhutto's warning against the turning Azad Kashmir into occupied Kashmir, his engagement with the Joint Action Committee, and the demand for the Truth and Reconciliation Commission go beyond the ordinary coalition theatre. These positions draw greater attention to the killings and the unrest. They do not distract from it. Pakistan People's Party understands the association with the existing arrangement is becoming a political liability. It wants Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf to return to the political process because a broader parliamentary alignment could give a political parties collective leverage against an unconstitutional reset which is about to happen. So its role as establishment B team does not prevent it from recognizing when the establishment itself is weakening. The Pakistan People's Party has always remained inside the system while searching for the leverage against it. Maulana Fazlur Rehman also appears to be wanting rather than rushing. His prolonged silence may reflect political discussion, but it may also show that he understands that the present structure is weakening under its own weight. If PTI or the Maulana launches another march, Pakistan People's Party and PML-N may close ranks against it again. And if the Maulana becomes the part of the broader political movement, then however, the confrontation could become far more serious. Imran Khan's refusal to accept an exile or the personal deal has already changed Pakistan's political psychology. Nawaz Sharif's resistance to Musharraf was weakened by the exile agreement. Khan's continued imprisonment allowed him that he did not run, even as the system built against him continued fighting with him. That moral position becomes stronger every day that this ruling elite fears. PTI should therefore be extremely careful right now. This recent statement of Barrister Gore suggests of the national government is difficult to understand at this moment, because when the establishment itself needs an escape, why would PTI offer it? PTI could unintentionally rescue the same structure that excluded it. So there is a strong possibility that this system will continue weaken through its own contradictions. PTI may gain more by refusing to participate in another unelected formula. Pakistan is currently being managed like a distressed company. If revenues decline, increase the petroleum levy. If dollars disappear, ask America for the billions. Request deferred payments from the Saudi Arabia, debt relief from China, and if PTI becomes a problem, manage it with the power. If Balochistan erupts, manage it with the power. If Kashmir visits, manage it with the power. Every crisis is temporarily suppressed until the next one arises. But the management is not government. Firefighting is not reform, and control is not stability. The hard state model is now working against everybody in Pakistan. Everything is burning and everything is deteriorating. Terrorism is expanding and the economy is being hollowed out. Even the peaceful protesters, including the kids who have got kidnapped, the parents of those kids were also labeled terrorists because they wanted to protest. So the coming months are therefore extremely dangerous. Establishment may intensify repression while negotiating for new foreign guarantees. Political parties may gradually withdraw their support, and association with the system will become more costly for them. Opposition forces may begin to converge, and if those managing the country interpret that resistance as a justification for complete takeover, Pakistan could be pushed towards an unavoidable national accident. The solution is not another 4-year experiment, another constitutional amendment, another administrative map, or foreign guarantees. The solution is the one that has repeatedly been avoided: credible elections, civilian authority, constitutional government, and acceptance that the will of the people cannot be administratively manufactured.